Hello, Braves Country. It's Coach Ken Anderson coming to you for Hardcore Braves. And tonight we're coming to you after the bad road trip, Ryan. But I got my main man, Ryan, on here. How we doing?
Well, we've been better, Ken. Not a good road trip. What were we? 1-4. Probably would have been 1-5 if we had to play Game 3 in Chicago. So we were not too cute this road trip. Big boy sad about it. How are you doing?
I'm sad too. I mean, that's just we know these weeks are going to come. It's just hard to watch them when they go through it, and we'll get into it. But first of all, everybody who's been following us, we know we missed the White Sox recap, and most people know now that my daughter had a very scary incident. She collapsed, heart stopped. She's doing way much better today. Everybody's reached out to us through Ryan, through me. We've been appreciative. But even more than that, we've been appreciative how y'all say you missed us. So that has meant a lot to us. So we're glad to be back, and we're going to dive into this. It ain't probably the best of weeks to do it. So we're going to do a little different. Usually we do game recaps, but since we didn't cover the White Sox, we're just going to do a whole week recap because every game kind of looks similar. All the numbers suggest why. So we get beat on in extra innings by the White Sox 6-5. In that game, both teams really tried to give the game away, Ryan. And then game two, we warned you on Braves hip coil. Davis Martin can absolutely pitch. Braves fans now know who Davis Martin is, and he's outstanding. And he outdueled Chris Sale. Chris Sale threw great. Of all our pitchers this week, we had our two lefties threw great for us this week. The righties, not so much. So we'll just have to do the White Sox real quick, and then we'll kind of get into the Mets series. What did you take out of the White Sox?
I mean, we just didn't hit. I mean, point blank, we just didn't hit enough. I think, we got off to a really good start in Chicago, and then we just simmered down. Like the momentum just stopped. White Sox kept gaining momentum. By the way, the White Sox made a ton of mistakes in that first game
Yeah.
that we should have taken advantage of, and we just flat out didn't, and we just handed them the game. Unfortunately, some people blame Rosel Iglesias for the pitch selection. Well, he pitched. Iggy doesn't pitch more than one inning more times than not, and then you go out there and try to push him on another inning to get the save, and he almost got it. Yeah, I mean, he hung one changeup, and Montgomery hit it off the top of the wall, and that was the ball game. It happens. Game two was very disappointing because Sale absolutely shoved for us, and our offense could do nil against David Martin or Mr. Martin.
Yeah, Davis.
So it, and just as we predicted on the hip coil, he was going to give us fits, man. He's got really good stuff. He's got 96 with movement. He's got really good off speed pitches. He mixes it well. He tunnels it well. It wasn't an easy ride for anybody, and unfortunately, it we went 0-2 in that series. So, but didn't get it any better in New York either. So it was just a really bad road trip all in all, Kim.
It was, and the thing is the White Sox are a really good young team, and they're playing with a lot of confidence. The Dodgers found out the hard way this weekend; they lost two out of three. So I know we lost both games, but it wasn't the end of the world. We go to New York, and Friday night, same kind of thing happened. We get guys on base. Spencer has nothing in the game. He gets up two in the bottom of the first. We get two in the top of the second, load the bases with no outs. This become a theme in our loss in the Mets this series. Got absolutely no runs out of that. And then they get the bases loaded in the bottom of the second. And Bo Bichette hits a grand slam. They take it 6-2. Pretty much the game's over. And then a couple innings later, Spencer is throwing 87-mile-an-hour fastballs and 80-mile-an-hour sliders like my high school senior. And we are know he's in trouble. They're waiting on the MRI. They took the MRI, but they're going out and figuring out what's going on. What's your initial reaction to what went on with Spencer and then the fact that we just could not get that big hit in the second inning?
Let's start with the big hit. I put this out on that short that I did after game one. Austin Wins is terrible. There's just no other way around it. He's terrible, so you can't expect anything out of him. Dubon should have had a much better at bat. There's just no Doobie. I love you. I'm not gonna rag on you too hard because you've done way more good than you've let us down this year. But in that situation, 3-1, you can't swing at that pitch. You take your walk, you move on down to first base, and then you give Michael Harris a chance. And When you pop that up, the inning was over. Michael was not seeing McLean very well in the first at bat. Didn't see him well in the second at bat because McLean threw probably one of the nastiest sinkers of the night and front doored him and locked him up. And that happens with two outs. You can't 2 out hitting is really tough, but the Doobie was the key guy. And then if you want to go to game two, Ozzy, or I think it was game three today, Ozzy Albies just crapped the bed. I think he struck out. When you can't do that, I mean, Dom Smith came in and hit a sac fly, and then Austin Riley pops the second pitch of his at bat up. I don't even know where to go with Austin. He just looks like shit. I'll just keep it a buck 10 with you. I don't know what him and Hires are working on, but I can tell you this: it ain't the right freaking thing. So whatever y'all are doing, y'all need to abandon it and go from ground zero and figure it out, because this ain't it. Um, Going back to Spencer, he's gonna have his third elbow surgery. There's no question in my mind. I've seen it way too much with pitchers. I've seen it way too much in athletes. When you have a velocity drop that much, you have something going on in either the shoulder or the elbow. I would bet more money it's going to be the elbow, and whether it's going to be the brace procedure again, or he's going to have his second full-blown Tommy John. I think this, unfortunately, could be the last that you see of Spencer Strider.
I'm very concerned with Spencer's career. We'll wait and see when he comes out, but it's hard enough to come back from one. It's becoming more commonplace now, so the younger generation thinks you can. So they're even having them on purpose, which is crazy. But now two for sure, but three is, he may come back and be one of those nice stories where late, a few years he's pitching out of the pen, seventh inning kind of deal, and everybody makes a big deal about him coming back. But I just don't really see Spencer coming back. I really don't.
Yeah, so just to keep it a buck 10 with you, chat, if you don't know statistics about elbow surgeries, after the third one, it's less than 30% get back to their prior level of function or their prior athletic level. So it does not look good. That's not to say Spencer can't come back. And look, we don't know the results. We're not spreading false information. I am giving you my opinion on what I saw. It's my opinion. It's not any information. It's nothing that got leaked. None of that. It's my opinion. I think Strider needs a third elbow surgery, and the likelihood he comes back from that and is even a big league pitcher is 30%. So I don't see it happening, unfortunately. I think we've seen the last of Spencer Strider, and that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I think though the last part may be what people have. I think he could be just be the last of this Spencer Strider. The reason why, real quick, the reason why it's hard to come back from the third is to get there. You've had to miss season after season after season, and I don't care if you had surgery. If you just took off and didn't throw for 10 months and then start trying to throw and then not throw for 10 months and then start to throw and not throw, you would not be a very good pitcher. So, but we do wish the best for Spencer. He's a really good guy and we all like him, and hopefully it gets out there and it's a really good decision. So with that said, we get hammered. The game gets away from us. We get beat. We turn around on Saturday, and like I said, the lefties threw great this week, and Martin Perez. I mean, we keep talking about him, and I hope we did do this the whole season because he was fantastic. Getting into the sixth inning, he got in a little trouble. Our bullpen, Dylan, come in. It's aces. We can get to the call, so we can talk about that game and also the call. I actually thought the Met. I even heard Darling talk about. I think they actually got the call right. But what was your thoughts on that?
I don't think it was fan interference. I don't think it was a home run. I don't think it hit. I think it hit glove and then came back in because you could see it hit the fingers in Yaz's glove. It didn't hit the back railing, which would have been the home run. I think they got the call right, which is far be it for me to say, but good job, MLB. You actually got one right because that's a rarity, even on replay. So good job. But yeah, I think they got it right. It wasn't a home run, and honestly, I probably would have rather Soto got the home run because all the havoc he created on the base paths later with his sign stealing, which is legal. You can do that. I'm not saying somebody should beanball him, but good Lord, man, make it a little bit less obvious. Holy crap! I mean, even in high school, we did it discreetly, man. Good Lord.
Yeah. He used to rub the hat, change the jersey or something.
Mine was simple. I tell guys, I said, if you see one hand out, doesn't matter which one, it's gonna be a fastball, and if you see two out, it's an off-speed pitch. It's that simple.
We even did the hand close, whatever it says, whatever. So good for Juan to go ahead and get away with it. Yeah, I'm with you. And I've told my New York Met friends, I said that just made it 3-2. So I think we still would have won the game, and I think it was okay. Martin pitched great. We get the win. We get to today's game, and today, all you people that want to bash Bryce, this is what regression looks like. I don't call it regression; it's just a bad outing. He could not get his cutter down, and it was flat. And sometimes it's how you warm up in the bullpen or whatever. I'm not concerned with Bryce. I've been expecting one of these to come because of his stuff. He can't go to 99, so he needs to have his movement. He didn't have his movement. We still had a chance in this game, but before that, let's talk about Bryce, Big Texas. Just wasn't his day.
The cutter eluded him today, and we all know how important the cutter is to him. My gosh, that's what he uses to get lefties off the plate, so he is more effective with the sinker, with the changeup, and with burying the slider, because the slider, to me, his is kind of more like a very sharp curveball, because it doesn't have this kind of break. It has more of that kind of break. So that's kind of easy to see out of the hand, in my opinion. And when you add the cutter where it can move in, guys have to respect that, and it can't just go after any break like it's going to be the slider. And you could see today that they were not worried about the cutter at all because of how flat it was. And that when that pitch isn't working, all of his other pitches go down and stuff. But for anybody who thinks Bryce Elder is not a better pitcher than he was last year, it is very unfortunate because he is very much a better pitcher, especially if you look at a savant. Now, Ken, I don't live and die by baseball savant, but what I will say is Bryce Elder's savant page has never in his career probably looked like this. That's the most read that I have seen on Bryce Elder's baseball savant in history. Even if you go back to his this is his all-star year in 23, not as good. Last year was worse. This year, bang. So for everybody who thinks it's going to be a regression and that he's just bad and that he can't start a playoff game, you need to chill out. Bryce has good stuff. He's changed. He didn't have the feel for his cutter 100% today. That was obvious, and then you saw what the result was. Yes, he's not a guy who's going to have 99 where he can stuff his way out of things. He's got to have his movement and he's got to have his command. If he doesn't have that, it's going to be a very hard day for Bryce. And those happened. Happened to Greg Maddux. It happened to Tom Glavine. It happened to all those guys. So chill out. If you even look at his expected ERA is 3.15 or 3.03, one of the two. He's a very good pitcher, so stop acting like he's not.
No, he's done really well. I feel good when Bryce goes to the mound, and we could have helped him. We'll get to the offense in a second. But to Ryan's point, Tommy Glavine had a string where he went 4 games, set at least 7 innings, and didn't give up more than 2 runs. And we were excited. We went to the ballpark, had a big game to pitch, and it was against the Dodgers. Tommy got hammered for 9 runs in 3 innings. It just happens, guys. And Tommy said he just didn't have his feel of his changeup, and it was over. When you don't have a feel of your off speed and hitters can just punt on that, then you're in trouble, and that's what happened to Bryce. Well, with that said, they had Freddie Peralta, and Freddie's been really struggling this year, and our offense did nothing to help him. That game really could change tremendously. On Friday night, we load the bases, get no runs. Today, we load the bases, no outs, and get 1 run. So we had the bases loaded, Mets on the ropes, and got 1 stinking run out of it. As Ryan broke down the bats, they were 2 terrible at bats, 1 good at bat. Dom got the ball out like he wanted to. I'll give you some numbers here for you. Break this down. This is the road trip, Ryan. Our hitters were 39 for 173 on the trip. That's 225. Okay, that's bad. We've been carrying a 250 average, so we was off. But it wasn't terrible. These teams go on road trips sometimes and hit a $180 when they have a bad day. So we did put some balls in play. And we had chances. We had runners on base, and that is signified by this. We had 36 times at bat with runners in scoring position. That's not on base, in scoring position. We mustered 7 hits, 194 batting average. And that just will not play. You're not going to be, usually you're hitting, because the pitcher, they're in trouble when the runner's in scoring position. You should get better at bats. You're right. Ozzy's at bat bad. And then, and we love Ozzy. We're Ozzy homers. That can't happen. And then, uh, Austin, we can't say no more about Austin. Austin just is a shell of himself right now. And all we can do is do like we can do with a lot of great players. I hope somehow he finds his way out of it, and him and Hires might need to go do something else. Wherever they're doing, train something else. Just go to the Georgia Aquarium, watch the fish, forget about baseball. I don't know what you do, but that's whatever it's not working. But I also want to get to this real quick for Ryan jumps in here. Our ace in the hole has been Mauricio Dubon. And this weekend, he comes up even later in a 4-1 ball game, 2 men on, and he doesn't have a good at bat either. Mauricio had his worst at bats with runners on scoring in scoring position he's had the whole season. That's why other guys have got to pick him up, and they did not pick him up. So overall, what do you think about our hitters this week? You're the hitting guru, so
They were terrible. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They had terrible at bats up and down the lineup, most of them. I mean, the only one who had kind of consistent at bats the entire road trip was Matt Olson. That was it.
yeah,
I mean, he was solid up and down every single game he get. I mean, there's not many. There's a couple in that you can throw in there that he probably went 3 or 4 pitches or less, right? But for the most part, he's out there grinding out at bats and seeing pitches, fouling off pitches. The pitches that are left over the plate, he's hammering somewhere. But he was about it. And that's not good when you got Dubon, who wasn't doing good. Michael Harris had a tough road trip, and he's been one of our best players all year. You got Baldwin out. You got Ronald out. Austin Riley is non-existent, and in the ghost form of him is currently in the lineup because I swear to God, he swings a ghost bat every time he steps into the box because he misses crap right down the middle. So bottom of the lineup is what it is right now. You got Eli White had a great day. Shout out to Eli White. You were the reason why we won game 2, good sir. So shout out to you. Yaz has not been playing well. He's going back into a slump. You got the catching position, which I cannot wait for Drake Baldwin to come back. Oh my God, Baldy, come home, Daddy. I can't deal with Sandy Leone or Austin Wins no more. Come back. Sean Murphy come back. I know people hate Sean Murphy, but he is literally twice the hitter. If you want to go by the terrible stat batting average, he is literally twice the hitter that Austin Wins and Sandy Leone is. So if y'all don't think Murphy is important, he is very important. So we got to get healthy. I think that's the biggest thing. We got to get Ronald back. We got to get Baldwin back. Chipper, I need you to go in there with Joe Boo. Give Joe Boo some rum. I don't know what you got to do. Go in there with a chicken bone cross and go over Austin Riley's bat. Something. Do something. Get Dansby. Go in there with some sage and help him out, please. For God's sakes, because it is terrible right now.
just need to take them to Georgia Aquarium, show them the fish. We'll see.
Heck, Ozzy, take him to your house and let him swim around in the fish tanks you got in there. My goodness.
Real quick, you can come at me on this. I don't want to hear no more Sean Murphy hate anymore. You've seen what the backup catching position can look like, and it is horrible. And they may be great guys. Austin, I know Sandy is, and Austin may be as well. We got to get Sean Murphy back. That's going to be a while. And when he comes back, just zip it. Zip it. If he hits 212 or 207 and whatever, maybe hits a home run every once in a while. Good enough for me because I've seen what it could be. But key here, let's get to this real quick. Drake Baldwin. I know they don't want to rush him, but I really almost like to see him back in the Giants series. He can't get back here quick enough because me and you debated. We didn't even debate before the show. We just asked the question. Drake Baldwin's the best hitter on this team, Ryan. We got to have him back.
Drake Baldwin's the best player on this team. I'm sorry, Ronald Acuna Jr. homers. Drake Baldwin's the most important. There's two, Matt Olson and Drake Baldwin. Those are the two that we cannot have anything happen to. And I know there's a lot of Ronald Acuna Jr. homers, and Ronald was great in 23. He was great in 21 and prior. Ronald has not shown that. He did a little bit last year. He's been not Ronald-esque this year. I know he's been an above-average player, but he's not been Ronald. So you can kind of replace his production a little bit. It's not easy, but you can. You can't replace Baldwin. You can't replace Olsen. And you probably can't replace Michael Harris right now. Those are the three that we cannot have out for any lengthy period of time because we're going to be in trouble. But I don't know if you rush him. We got a nice lead, so I want to take advantage of that. I wouldn't be surprised if they pushed him back to Milwaukee, but I would be excited if he started in the San Francisco Giants series. I'd be happy. I just need him to stay healthy.
The reason he might wait is just because the minor leagues had this weird thing where they take Monday off. I think if they could get him in a Monday game, maybe a little bit helpful. So we'll see what they do. That'll be Alex will make the decision. So let's go to the pitchers. Here's an interesting stat. Now we already told you that two of the starters, Sale and Perez, threw great. We're going to group them into the starters just so you know how bad the other three were. Our starters gave up 19 earned runs. Again, 19, 21 and 2/3 inning, Ryan. Not a genius to do the math on this. That's an 8.7 something ERA.
Yeah, I know where they mostly came from too.
Well, it was actually all of them across the board. I mean, Elder today 6 runs, and then it's all three of them. All three of them are bad. That the two
Yes.
lefties,
Two
great.
lefties were good at eliminating them, but I'm saying Elder,
You,
not
if you
good.
if you
Strider, horrible. And then the third one was Holmes.
yeah, if you take the two lefties out, it's 16 earned runs, and 12 innings. That's terrible. I mean, it's just terrible. Now let's get to the good because we're not going to just keep bashing them on the one fork because things do happen that way. Here's the bullpen: 3 earned runs in 21 innings, and that includes Anthony Molina taking the ball today and giving up an earned run. He did give up two, we know, but one of them was earned, one was unearned. And Rossiel in a second inning pitch, and the kid, I still don't know how he hit the ball at the ballpark. But again, what we keep saying, the bullpen's great on this team, right? And they're what's going to carry us to a World Series. So we got nothing to say negative about the bullpen again, all right?
I got absolutely nothing to say negative against the bullpen, man. I honestly think I can't wait to talk trade deadline with you because there's so much that we can talk about. But I'm just gonna throw this little tidbit out. We do need two starting pitchers, but I think you get one playoff starter, one that's kind of Martin Perez esque to get you through the year. But come playoff time, I can see. Oh, I don't know. Grant Holmes going out there one time through the lineup. Didi going out there the next time through the lineup, and then oh no, you're at the sixth inning, and then you got the big horses coming in from the bullpen to finish it off. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I think everybody. I'm just going to disagree, Ryan. We haven't talked about this. I think everybody's got to get off the Diddy or 3 inning thing now. I think they've shown you they're including Diddy in the big four in the back of the bullpen, and he's going to pitch a lot of late innings. That's just my opinion. We disagree here. Me and Ryan y'all think we agree on everything. We do not. You ought to hear some of our discussions. They're really good, and we can't wait to get on the trade deadline and all these shows as we get further in the season. You're going to find out we can really get spicy, and that'll be fun. Right now it's a long season. We got to save our strength. But with saying that with the starting pitchers, Ryan's right. So we're going to have to go get a playoff starter. There's no everybody in baseball. If you haven't fell off your wagon here, knows the Braves got to get a playoff starter, and we can't wait to get into as big as that may be. The other one gets marginal. Like, do you go get a Martin Perez, whatever? Well, those two kids could be that other guy. Those two kids being Hurston Waldrop, who's coming fast. They threw well in Columbus. They even took him off the IL. They felt good enough to go ahead and just put him in there and let's see what he does. I talked to somebody today. It's probably 60 pitches. Next start, 80, you know what I'm saying? And they're going to be ready to try. So about 3 starts. So let's look at 1st of July. But I thought J.R. Ritchie threw good enough, and I don't want to hear anything from our buddy. Y'all don't think he's our buddy. He is. We talk all the time. But Matt Olsenberner, you're wrong. He threw the ball great, and his command was actually good. We don't want to throw the ball in the zone. We don't want to. If you have a chase team like the Mets, the last thing you can do is throw the ball in the zone. And he'll have to do that against the Dodgers and some of them teams. But J.R. Ritchie and Hurston Waldrop could be huge here up to August the 1st. What do you think about that?
I'd very much agree. I mean, JR pitched really well, and I'm not just saying that just because, I'm like I'm just saying it. Like he pitched really well. I know people hate. I don't know why people are so against JR. There's a crowd out there. Look, I know he walked the world down in the minor leagues. I know he had his difficulties up here, but I mean, every start he had, he went into the fifth inning just about. I think there's maybe one or two where he couldn't quite get through the fifth, but I mean, we got two guys, or we had two guys. I had trouble getting to the fifth inning at one point. So, and he went out there and correct me if I'm wrong. He went 5+ innings, like finished the game. I think he only threw like 80 something pitches, and he looked good. His stuff looked good. His stuff played really well. His fastball looked good. His changeup was good enough. His curveball was really, really good. Look, if you, it's not always that you got to pound the strike zone. Yes, you got to pound the strike zone enough, but you also got to have the chase. So you got to tunnel your pitches because the ultimate goal is yes, you want to be in the strike zone, but I want to get the weak contact slash swing and miss, and that happens outside of the strike zone. So you got to know when to go in, when to go out. That's what makes a really good pitcher. That's what made Greg Maddox's career. That's what made Tom Glavine's career. They pitched inside the strike zone, and then when they could, they expanded it and got the weak contact and the strikeouts. That's how you pitch. I'm not saying Tom Glavine and Greg Maddox would have, been so great in this day and age. I don't know. It's a totally different era now, but they pitched right in the middle of the steroid era, and that was when offense was pretty daggum good. So I would imagine that if you pitch just like that, and with J.R. Ritchie's stuff, I mean, he can be a solid 3 to 5 pitcher. And I hate to break it to you, we weren't replacing prime Spencer Strider. We were replacing the ghost of Spencer Strider. No offense, Spencer, but and J.R. Ritchie can do that. He can do that until the trade deadline when we need to get somebody.
I agree. So this is where we normally turn to MVP and player of the series. It just really wasn't one. I will say this: the player of the series might be Spencer getting hurt because it will definitely signify what we all want, the number 2 playoff starter. It kind of moves Alex off of that. MVP of the series, we don't really want to take Braden Montgomery from the White Sox or Bo Bichette from the Mets, but if you had to take MVP, they both had great series against us. Matt Olson had the best at bats for us all week. He had a bat today where he went 11 pitches and he hit a really good pitch. The guy made a really good pitch on the 11th pitch. So with that said, let's just see how they stand. So they're 46-25. Okay. They're still up 8 games on the Phillies. They're still up a game and a half on the Dodgers. They're still up 2 games on the Brewers because the Braves are 5-5 in their last 10. LA 5-5. Philly and Milwaukee are 6-4. And I talked to Ryan beforehand. That's a miserable feeling if you're the team's behind trying to chase for something. So overall, it was a bad week. But you just chopped off a week off the schedule and nothing really changed, Ryan. You got to kind of feel okay getting on the flight and coming home and trying to get everything right after a day off.
Well, you don't feel great by no
I
means,
said
but
okay.
you can
I didn't use the word great. I said okay.
I get it.
We're not going to
I
piss and
wouldn't feel
moan and go throw up in the bathroom because we're still got an 8-game lead.
I wouldn't feel okay, but if you can sit back and find a silver lining, yes, you can be comfortable with that silver lining and be like, hey, this is a bad stretch. We haven't really lost anything. Let's get our shit together in Truist and let's have a good homestand. But in no way, shape, or form should anybody feel good or okay about it. But if there's a silver lining to be had, that is the silver lining. Yes, you're still in a very good spot. You're in first place in the East. You're still got one of the 2 buys. Everybody else is kind of slumping around you who needs to catch you. So, again, silver lining's good. And I want everybody to realize this is the first bad stretch of baseball. Like, this is our first, 1-5 stretch. And we are, in June now? That's pretty good. So, everybody kind of chill out and relax. They're going to be fine. This isn't the same team as 24, 25, so please let that go. Alex is going to make moves at the deadline. I know there are some people out there that absolutely hate Alex Anthopoulos, but I promise you he's not going to let this go by without him making some moves because he knows how good this team is.
He just described okay, so you can help the South Georgia boy to understand that. He just described okay. We got through the week and everything's okay. Let's move on. So I like to pick on Ryan when he does this. So, but everything we're saying is right. So we're just trying to say let's just move on. So what can help the ills of a team that's had a bad week? Huh, I sent us a bad baseball team in here. The Mets are not a bad baseball team. They're playing bad, and they've been playing a little bit better. They're 6-4 over their last 10, so it's not horrible. But the Giants are coming to town, and that bunch. Oh my Lord! They're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna get my friend fired, or he's just gonna quit. He's gonna be coaching at Berry College or something. I don't know what Tony's gonna do, but he's got to be miserable. But here come the Giants. We're gonna break down their pitchers. They're throwing three decent pitchers, but they're not throwing their best pitcher, Ryan. Logan Webb is not going to be in this. We're going to get Adrian Hauser. We're going to get Ray, and we're going to get on the last day. Oh, his name just went out of my head. The kid,
Rup,
Root. Yep,
Roop,
and he's
Roop.
coming. He's really good. Overall, what are you seeing coming into the Giants from the pitcher side?
Um, Roop is really the only good one. Not even trying to be a jerk, but Hauser's not very good. Robbie Ray is not who he used to be, so he's kind of a two-pitch pitcher now. So I mean, Hauser's not very good. Like I said, Roop looks good, but he's gonna be the one that gives us a lot of fits. But you're gonna have to tune in on Brave Sip Call to find out why he's gonna give us fits.
Yeah, you are, and they are. This is one of those weird things where both teams are coming in going, okay, wait, maybe there's a chance. The Braves are not hitting, and they're going, this bunch we can hit. And they have a decent pitching staff, but they're not the best ones. And one of their best relievers, again, you're going to touch on the hip coil, has just got back. And we'll mention him on the hip coil while he may be important to watch this week because it could be August 1st kind of implications. But and then the Giants have got to be looking that their pitchers go, hey, we can get healthy. So we'll see which one does it. From the pitcher side for us, okay, it can be moved because the Braves now have all kind of situations, but we're assuming it's going to be home sale and probably Richie probably will get a start. We'll see. We'll see what the Braves decide. They can go all kind of ways. So
I don't. I think they pushed Sale back to Milwaukee.
they're going to go Holmes, Richie.
I think Elder again. I
Also, they're going to
think.
just give. They're going to use the day off to put Holmes, Perez, Elder.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. They're trying to catch days with Chris Sale, so I don't hate that either. So they do what they got to do. He's 38 years old. You're trying to get him to the finish line. Well, even with that said, though, this could all change. You never know what's going to happen. So they get a day off. They may adjust. Heck, Alex may make a trade. Probably not, guys. Don't get on that. All right, so the Giants are coming to town. So let's give this our pitchers. Don't matter who they pitch. This lineup struggles. It struggles. It has these weird moments where they'll all hit and then they all decide not to hit. They have supposed to be one of the best players on the planet. He's not. He's not as good. You see why the Red Sox kind of punted on Devers because Devers is kind of an emotional guy. Matt Chapman should be better than he is. Willie Adames should be better than he is. John Quinn Lee, they went out and signed. He has not lived up to his billing. It's not a team that really our pitchers could get healthy. And I'll say this, Ryan, for you jumping here on their hitters. If we get a lead at any point in this ball game late, we should win that game, don't you think?
Yeah, you got to feel comfortable if you get a lead in this series that you're going to lock it down. Real quick on the pitchers, I looked it up. Holmes, Richie, and Perez are going for us.
I thought they would throw Richie. I
Yeah.
really thought they
So,
would throw Richie because Richie threw good enough to pitch.
yeah, so you got those three going for Atlanta, but getting back on track. The Giants' offense is underperforming heavily. They're not very good. And the three guys that they rely on, Chapman, Devers, and Adamas, I think have been playing a little bit better of late, but they have really, really struggled for most of the season, and that's the reason why they are what they are. So it's a series that you got to come in and we're like, yeah, we got to take 2 out of 3 and get back on track. There's no if you lose the series, that's just not that you can't have that happen. It's not good. So you got to come in, take care of business, try to sweep, but at least win 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I'm not upset about losing to the White Sox. For some reason, we don't play well there. We're 5-13 overall, so we lost that. The Mets are a desperate team, and they took advantage of us not hitting with runners in scoring position. We cannot lose the series to the Giants. I will be a little the next recap show, I'll be a little disappointed if we come in with a loss. So you already know what my prediction is. I'm going to at least say 2 out of 3. I'm never going to say a team that has hit, what was it, a $194 runners in scoring position is going to sweep anybody. But I'm going to go 2 out of 3. What do you think?
I think we get 2 out of 3. I feel way more comfortable saying we can sweep if we have Baldy back, but I'm comfortable that we can squeak out a couple wins, even if we score only 3 or 4 runs. I think we can get it done. 2 out of 3.
I agree, and we don't know if Baldwin's going to come back, so I guess he's off the mantle for this one because we'd both probably pick Drake. So who do you got as the MVP to try to get us to 2 out of 3?
Oh, the MVP. The last one I chose was Matt Olson. He came through for me, so I'm going to ride the hot hand. I'm going to go Matt Olson. Hey, look, he's swinging the best bat in the lineup. He's going to face 2 righties this series, and Robbie Ray, who's kind of easy pickings for a lefty, in my opinion. So I think Matt Olson should have a very good series.
I like it. I like, I'm always for Matt Olson being a pick. So I'm going to use one of Ryan's. Can I have 2? Okay, so we'll have 2. One of them is I'm going to say for the Hip Call show, so make sure you tune in for it because it's going to be my hitter for the pick to click. We always do a pick to click. So I'm going to go pitcher. I think the MVP of this series is going to be J.R. Ritchie. He's going to settle the whole Braves country down. He's going to throw a gem, 6 innings, 2 runs or less. I'll go 3 runs or less because that's a quality start. And he's going to get us a victory Wednesday night. I'll go with JR, and that way I can call my friend Jason Reese and give him all the crap burgers he can eat one day. So he likes JR, but he gets tired of his command. But I'll go JR Ritchie. So what do you think about JR?
I think JR is going to do well against the offense, but you're not going to settle anybody down because you know what everybody else is going to throw at us? Oh, it's the Giants. They're terrible. Well, he still had to go out there and do it, chat. So come on now. Look, there's no pleasing anybody. I mean, he could go out there and do exactly what he did in his debut against one of the best offenses in the Washington Nationals, and they still wouldn't be happy. So, JR, you just go out there and do your thing, baby.
Yeah, I think he's going to pitch well. So I think he's going to really help us settle down. So with that said, we're going to get on out of here. We do appreciate again. We apologize for missing one. Personal stuff does come up. But you remember, you can follow us at Hardcore Braves and of course Ryan at the Hip Coil and at Braves Homer 27 at Boyd PC. But with that, what is your final thought here on June 14th of 2026?
Don't take life too serious. Life's too short. Make sure everybody that you care about knows that you love them, and don't let one loss or one bad road trip just ruin your entire evening, guys. It's not worth it. There's a whole lot more to life than just the Atlanta Braves baseball. So I hope you guys realize that.
Yeah, I mean, Ryan's had to live this week with me and the rest of the Hardcore Braves family and all the Twitter, and that's my final thought as well. You always want to know why I'm not busting people's chops. Some of my friends hear it in the text messages. I throw a lot of stuff, a lot of shade toward some of this stuff. I just don't do it on public forums too much because life is too short. We're very blessed that my daughter has a chance to get out of this. She's fighting for her life, but I asked her, and she said she wanted me to get on here, and Ryan was excited, so I'm glad to be on here. And Ryan, we do appreciate everything. And remember, we're first place. We're 46-25. Stop thinking about October. Alex is the only one should be worried about October right now, and he'll fix it. I have full faith in Alex Anthopoulos, and don't throw me all the shade on his mistakes. He's human, and he's going to make some. But overall, he's been a great GM for us, and I expect him to give us a chance to win. And when we trade and get, you got to wait for the trade deadline for that. We'll tell you who that's going to be, and we'll have a show on that. So, with that said, we're going to get out of here. We love you, Braves Country, and we'll see you next time. And as always, peace.
You know what, boys? You guys are going to be world champions for the rest of your life.